Introducing Brandy Robinson with her report on the critics of the New Deal. The following presentation will contain information on liberal critics, conservatives, why people hate the AAA, and Roosevelt's greatest mistake.
I'm Brandy Robinson, and I'm here to talk about the critics of the New Deal. Liberal critics argue that the New Deal doesn't go far enough to help the poor and reform the nation's economic system, while conservatives say that Roosevelt spent too much on direct relief and used the policies to control businesses and socialize the economy. They were particularly angered with the acts such as the AAA, which paid farmers to slaughter their animals and stop growing crops. They were angered by this because people were starving and he was having them not make more food. His greatest mistake was packing the Supreme Court with up to 15 justices. He did this because the Supreme Court kept declaring his programs unconstitutional, and with more justices he could have more of them on his side. People like Father Coughlin, Dr. Francis Townshend, and Huey Long either argue that he's doing too much or he's not doing enough. Either way, everyone has something to say about President Teddy Roosevelt.
And now on to Stephanie Alvarez with her report on how consumerism and installment plans led to the Great Depression. The following presentation will contain information on what is an installment plan, how people abused credit, mass production of goods, and the change of the economy.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Stephanie Alvarez, and welcome to another episode of Channel 7 News. Today we're going to talk about how consumerism and installment plans led us to the Great Depression. First of all, what's an installment plan? An installment plan is a credit system in which payments for merchandise is done over a period of time. People began to abuse this. They bought items such as cars, radios, and other products they didn't necessarily need by credit. What they didn't realize was that they wouldn't be able to afford to pay the bill. Also, the overproduction of goods by farmers led to the Great Depression. There weren't enough consumers for all the food that was being produced. This affected our economy because now farmers weren't providing any source of income. As experts have shown, there has been a drastic change in the economy, as you can see, from the roaring 20s to now the 1930s. Sad to say, but it's the truth. Well, that's all I have for today. Stay tuned for more information over the Great Depression.
And now on to Naleli Reyes with her report on the packing of the Supreme Court. The following presentation will contain information on President Roosevelt getting too powerful, changing the balance of the court, unconstitutional laws, and the president becoming a dictator.
Hello, this is Naleli with Bootsman News. Tonight I'll bring you the latest news about the Supreme Court packing system. Our president, Franklin D. Roosevelt, is getting too powerful. With the latest scandal, he wants to pack the Supreme Court from 9 to 15 judges just to favor him. He wants to change the balance of the court towards liberalism so they could start approving his New Deal legislations. Since they were being called unconstitutional before, he wanted to put in his own judges. So now, our president is being like a dictator.
And finally, we have Chelsea Pinedo with her report on the alphabet soup agencies. The following presentation will contain information on why FDR created the alphabet soup agencies, what is the AAA, what is the CCC, and can it help us out of the Depression.
Chelsea Pinedo reporting live financial verdict, and this just breaking in, our very own president, Franklin D. Roosevelt, is talking about his New Deal. He is creating his very own alphabet soup agencies. He's doing this to give us the little hope that we need to hopefully resolve this Great Depression. By having these alphabet soup agencies, he's having the government find his jobs. We have the AAA, where farmers raise their crop prices but don't raise so much crops. Or the CCC to help us plant trees. The list goes on from the NRA to the TVA. Keep on the lookout for these jobs because a new hope has risen, and hopefully this will resolve the Great Depression. This is Chelsea Pinedo signing off.